Hello, my name is Klimova. I'm Vice Dean of the Digital Transformations Department. And today I will tell you about some formal procedures regarding scientific work during these 2 years of our study. I will just show my screen. I think that you already, at least the Russian part of our students, has already understand what does it mean scientific work and what you are going to do during these 2 years of scientific work. And as far as I know, for international students, you will have the meeting with your head of the program today after my lecture. So first of all, I think that everyone has already seen the study plan. And you saw that scientific work is a part of a study plan, the same as any discipline. So after each semester, you will have a defense procedure, or as we call it, examination, and you will get a grade for your for your work. Well, in case something goes wrong and you will not get the grade, so that means it will be academic debt, and so you don't you need to work, hard to avoid this situation. It's you will get a grade. So even if in a study plan it said that this is well, in Russian zachет, doesn't you will get a grade, as for any other disciplines with exam. Scientific work is lasts 2 years. Every semester. During the first and the second semester, you will have one type of scientific work, and you will need to write one report each semester. Starting from the third semester, means the third and fourth semester, you will have 2 types of scientific work each semester. So you will need to defend 2 reports each semester. Today, I would like to give you some formal peculiarities of doing this scientific work. You have already met, the most of you, the supervisors, possible supervisors. So you know what to do, like in scientific way. Today, I will tell you what to do, like from the practical way or formal task. So I will speak about scientific reporting, then I will explain some common mistakes which students normally have, speaking from our experience, and also some information about scientific databases, reference management software, and things like that. And also you will have an opportunity to ask questions. So scientific work normally it lasts, well, in ideal ideal situation, during the first semester you write in like a literature review, then you're doing you design methodology or creating new models, so collecting data, work with data during the second semester. Then you work more deeply on this content during the third semester, and during the fourth semester, you finalize your master thesis. So this is the plan of your scientific work in the ideal world. But for sure, if you will not be able to stay with this topic, scientific topic, during the first semester, and if you would like to change it, it is still possible. So some students, they change the scientific topic during the second semester, for example, so it's not a huge problem. So what I'm telling is that you get some scientific direction at the beginning of your study, and then you continue your study during the 2 years, and at the end you will get the master thesis. So your master thesis, it's a kind of collection of your reports during these 2 years. You will need to submit some formal documents. This first, it's individual task for your research work. You will get it, you will need to ask your supervisor to give you this document. So to give you a clear explanation what you are going to do during this first semester. Some kind of brief guidelines, preliminary content of the report, probably some references which are recommended to you, or something like that. The second document is a diary. Well, this mistake here, it's not once a week, once 2 weeks. You need to make like a line in this diary and explain what you have done during this period of time. So which questions did you have, what did you do, and your scientific advisor will sign this diary at the end of your scientific work during each semester. He will also need to provide you with a review where he will write about your weak and strength points and evaluate the research work. So probably give some recommendation for your future work or make some conclusions. And the most important thing, it's a report itself. So this is a document where you will describe what you have done during this semester, a scientific document. Before, we asked students to send these documents electronically by email to me, or bring to me the hard copies of these documents. So to print it, to sign it with the supervisor and bring it to me as well. This year, university applied this ISU system, so you don't need to submit the paper documents. You will need to submit the documents electronically through this system. So don't send by email to me the final documents, but submit it to the system. So normally your scientific work is stages, includes like tutorial, which you have now, then topic selection, which you have to do, I think, in 2 weeks. Then this schedule of your scientific work. You need to discuss with your supervisor schedule of your scientific work and how you will work with your supervisor, because different people have different, ability to work. Some needs the report of progress every week. Some ask reports not so often, or do you want to meet personally or doing this online, etc., etc. So this is a question to discuss during this period. Then you work on the project and communicate with your supervisor, of course. Then during this week, not last, but the before last week in December, we will have the week of defense of your projects. So you will not be free from your subjects during this period of time. So we will give you the huge gap so you can choose the date and time suitable for you individually to to make this this possible, to schedule your defense procedure. And 25th of January, this is the day of your reporting. That means then during this is a deadline. So by this time, you will need to show your work to your supervisor. You will need to defend it during this presentation period. You will need to finalize it. And finally, you will need to upload it to the system and get all signatures. So this is 25th of January. All right, so these are some requirements regarding your scientific work in first semester. Normally in first semester, you will write a review or analysis of scientific literature review. You can do some practical tasks as well. It depends on the individual task, but everyone should write this review of related work. The minimum amount, the minimum volume is 20 pages. As I said, report defense will be from 22nd till 25th of December, and the deadline for the report is 25th of January. The formal requirements for presentation is 8 minutes and a session of questions and answers from the Commission. So the package of required documents will include, as I already mentioned, scientific task, diary, report, review from the supervisor, and the presentation. For your program, I mean big data and machine learning, there is a requirement that presentations should be done in English and report is also should be done in English. And your master thesis you will write in English because this is an international study program. Unlike to other programs in our faculty where they can choose write it in English or in Russian. So for you, it's only in English. Your grade will get from the supervisor, then the grade for presentation, and also the report should be made in compliance with the Russian document. It's a GOST, it's a standard document where it's described the rules regarding numbering of figures, fonts, so some formal procedures how you can formal procedures regarding the document. The report and supplementary documents requirements, they are written in accordance with the previous year. This year, probably you don't need to send me by email, but you need to submit it through ISU, but you will get this information closer to the date of defense, because as far as I know, this part of software in ISU is not opened yet. So as soon as they will finalize everything, we will let you know, but I think it will be like closer to the date of your defense. Now let's go further to common mistakes. So the first mistake which we see quite often is that literature is out of date. Normally, you will need to reference in your scientific report 20-25 scientific papers starting from 2015 and more recent year of publication. So I'm talking about scientific papers. So, and later I will explain where you can find them. So I see that you're asking questions in the chat, so I will answer them after my presentation, if you don't mind. Okay, I will answer right now. You mean the final document submitted in PDF to avoid links crashing? Do you mean PDF but not docs or something like that? I think that PDF is okay. Yeah. No, you don't need to make a report in both languages. You just do it in English. That's it. Only in English. Presentation, your speech during the presentation, and the text of your report. Because yesterday I get to know a funny thing when I said the presentation in English. then students normally think that only slides should be in English and the speech could be in Russian, but no, both slides and your speech should be in English. Okay, where can you find the resources for document standard? Well, just you Google it. So this is a standard document. You can find it in the web. And for international students who have difficulties in, for sure in Russian language, because this is a Russian document, we will provide some key points in English language so you can refer to these points. Okay, the second important thing and common mistake, unfortunately, is the plagiarism. So, do you know what plagiarism means? Can you just give me a quick answer? You can use your mic, not just writing in the chat. Copying. Still other work. Yeah. But this is like the most obvious explanation of the plagiarism. For example, imagine the situation. So there is a paper which is written by someone, and you're doing just copy paste. For example, one sentence, two sentences doesn't mean you don't put it in a quotation marks, you don't make a reference in text. That means that it will be plagiarism. If, for example, you read a paper and make a summary, so you analyze it, paraphrase it, but again you write it down and don't make a reference, again it will be also plagiarism, even if it's not a copy paste. You can copy one or two sentences, you put a quotation mark, but you could not copy one or two paragraphs. If you're doing like this, even if you put the quotation marks, even if you put the reference in text, it's again will be considered as plagiarism. So you need, with a big amount of information, like several paragraphs, or even one paragraph, you need to work. So you need to analyze it, you need to make some conclusions and give your own opinion. In that case, it will not be a plagiarism. Papers are not referenced properly. So in my opinion, you already finished your bachelor study, so you know something about citing documents, right? So you're doing it in text citation, and also at the end of the document, you have a list of references. So each reference in this list should be mentioned in your text, and vice versa. Each paper mentioned in your text should be also mentioned in this list of references. Next theme is that report could be not scientific. Normally, this most common thing for another program which close to games designing, because for this area of study there are not so many deep scientific papers, but for your area like big data, machine learning, there are a lot of papers and scientific resources where you can find this information. But you can reference some reports like from the government, which are not normally scientific. You can also cite some popular science paper, but just one or two, no more. Because normally your reference list should be scientific papers from scientific journals. And another common mistake, probably not so serious, but anyway, so it's the report without compliance to a GOST. For example, figure and table titles, fonts are doing not well, etc., etc. But this is a serious problem, because when you will do your master thesis, you have to make this standard you have to follow the standard very strictly, because the secretary of the commission will not accept your manuscript if it will not be in compliance to this GOST. Yeah, I will speak about Mendeley a little bit later. Well, the percentage of your unique information is around, the minimum is 80% of uniqueness of the text. Let's go to some examples of academic databases and search engines. Could you please, like in the chat, give me some examples of databases that you already familiar with, know, heard about them? So Google Scholar, okay. Good. Have you heard about Scopus and Web of Science? Good. Yeah, so there are a lot of scientific databases. There are a lot of scientific databases which like abstract databases or full paper databases, and also like a ResearchGate. It's a scientific network. So something like Facebook for scientists. Here in these databases, you can find or abstracts of the papers or the full text of those papers. As you know, there are some open access papers and non-open access papers. Open access papers, they are available for downloading for free from Science Direct, from any other databases. If it's not open access, that means that you will need to pay to download the paper. One possibility is to find the author in ResearchGate and ask him or her to send to you the text of this paper. Because normally, according to the license agreement with the publishers, authors could not share this non-open access paper for everyone, like to upload them on their pages, etc., etc. But they can send it to individuals who require. So this is one solution. Another solution is this databases, Web of Science and Scopus, because University ITMO has a subscription to this to these documents. So you can normally you can use your official email in order to get access to these databases and to download the papers. Normally everyone who registered in ISU had this official email, like at itmo.ru, as far as I remember. Yeah, so Scopus, this is the largest abstract and citation database of peer-reviewed literature. It is updated daily and titles are evaluated regularly. It contains scientific papers, I think proceedings of the conference, books, some books, and other kind of literature. So there you can search by document, author, or affiliation. You can look like which documents your institution already subscribes to. You can view the H index or Hirsch index of scientific authors. You can track citations over time. You can look at the paper and realize how many times it was cited, etc., etc. So you can do it with this Scopus database. Here are some examples of different databases. Is Google Scholar, as you mentioned already, Science Direct, Emerald, Springer, and some others. So, and I will open the chat. Yeah, ITMO provides. What do you mean, I don't? You don't have an email? I mean, official email of ITMO? You can ask the student office. I think that should be like, because my interface in ISU is different from interface of a student. In my interface, I know where you should go to find your email address. Because for me, initially, it was like my number, like an identification number in the system, and then at itmo.ru. For you, I don't know how does it work. So it's better to ask a student office, and they will, reference the right person who can help you. Yeah, this is like example of how this page of Science Direct looks like. Well, there you can make a search in keywords, in author names, journal titles, etc., etc. Yeah, that's also examples how you can make a search, like advanced search in the documents. For example, if you would like to customize your research for some time period, like for 5 years, you can put it here. You can also search by keywords, for example. You can look only for review articles or for some only research articles, etc., etc. So you can do it. Reference management software. You have already mentioned, some of you, speaking about when you spoke about the Mendeley. So probably you've already heard about different systems of referencing, like Harvard, IEEE, Oxford. Could you please just in the chat type who didn't heard anything about these ways of information letter referencing? Who didn't heard? Everyone heard. Okay, that's okay. Right. So that's what that's what I'm talking about, the plagiarism. So if you read a paper and you would like to mention some method or some terms or some procedures described in this paper, you can do it in your report, but you have to put the reference. So to show that it's not your own idea, but it was written for someone else. In that case, it won't be considered as a plagiarism. And there are some standards how you can do it. If you open any scientific paper, you can easily understand what I'm talking about. For example, many journals, they follow the Harvard system, which is also called author year style or parenthetical referencing. Here at this example, this is a citation from some paper, which was written by Watson in 2012. So regarding this system of citation, you have to put the name of the first author and the year of publication of this paper. And at the end of the document, you will have the full bibliography, like the title of this paper, the title of the journal where it was published, the publisher, etc., etc. Another standard is IEEE, or Russian standard is quite close to it. You didn't write the name of the author or the year of publication, you just put a number. A number in accordance to appearance of the citation in the text. For example, if you cite something. It will be the first citation, then the second, third, etc., etc. And at the end of the document, again, you will have a list of this information about these papers: author, name of the title of the paper, name of the journal, etc., etc. So this is just the difference in different, the difference is in ways how you can show that the paper was, this information is taken from somewhere else. And normally many of our students, they doing some research and then they would like to publish it. And for example, imagine that you use this way of writing a citation, and then you apply your paper to the journal, which use the Harvard system. And you have around 25 references in your list. If you do it by hand, you know, they change the style for each reference. If you're doing it manually, it will take a lot of time. And to make it easier to the researcher, the people use the different systems, academic reference software, and the machine will do it automatically for you. So there is a database where you can find the paper, you click on this paper, and you will get the link automatically in your document. So there is some examples of this reference software, management software. It's Mendeley, Zotero, and Node. And we encourage you to use Mendeley. It's a free reference manager. And also it's an academic social network. So using Mendeley, you can first manage different types of your citation. You can also share your bibliography with your colleagues. It's quite handy if you write together a scientific paper, for example, so you can put there everything what you find, any papers, and share with your colleagues. You can also create your own library. So you read a lot of papers and you can like store it in the special folder and go to this paper further. And also you may do some comments inside the text of this paper, etc., etc. So it's a very, very handy software. And well, I encourage you to use this one during the report. So to create an account, you will need to go to mendeley.com, download this Mendeley desktop, and also include plugin to MS Word, citation plugin, and start working with these documents. So this is all about the formal procedures. I would like also to say that next semester we have a course which called High Performance Computing. And one of the first lectures in this course is how to write a scientific paper or scientific review. And I think I will share with you the link to this lecture, because I think that at this moment it will be quite handy to you to look at this presentation and to listen to explanation how you can do this review process, how to look for the papers in different databases or in different, lists of references, etc., etc. Also, we had this course, which is not obligatory to join, which calls like Basics of Scientific Research, and but this year no one enrolled to this course. But if you want, you can write down, email to me, and I think we will be able to somehow manage this situation. During this course, normally it's a brief introduction to different bibliographic basics of journals and scientists, for example, you will get information about what does it mean, H index or Hirsch index, impact factor of the journal, how to write a review, how to organize information during the research or something like that. Well, I have also the a task book with around 6 labs, I think. And I think you can do it like individually. You don't need to visit the lectures or doing something like that. So for someone who curious to know what does it mean, I will share this textbook and you can do it by yourself and ask me questions if you want. But there is one huge drawback. This textbook is written in Russian. So for international students who doesn't speak Russian at all, well, we will see. You can ask me questions or we can organize this course just for you, or that's up to you. Or you can just look at this lecture, which I will share with you, and probably you will get all information you need. So if you have any questions, you can write them down in a chat or ask me. By voice.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, I have a question regarding the relation between scientific work and thesis, especially if we can somehow change later a theme of thesis. For example, for 2 semesters or 1 semester, I'm working on a scientific work, write a scientific paper on it, and then switch to a little bit another theme. Is it possible? And write thesis on this theme, the new one.
Yeah, look, so it is possible, but you will need to start from the beginning. I mean, for example, literature review is the obligatory section in your master thesis. So if you will change your topic, you will need to write this literature review analysis again. Anyway, you will need to refresh your literature analysis, even if you will not change your topic, because during these 2 years, something can change, something like that. So normally, if you will change the topic during the second semester, it's not like a huge problem. But in the third semester, it could be already a problem because you will need literally write for during one semester, write the biggest part of your thesis, because during the fourth semester, normally you just collecting everything what you have done, you somehow looking for weaknesses, you make verifications, etc., etc. So normally students have the majority of work done by the end of third semester. Well, this is the first thing. The second thing is, I think that Denis Nasonov has already mentioned it. If you will change your scientific advisors too often, I mean, 2 times, it's already too much, in my opinion. That means that other scientific advisors will not have desire probably to work, and also they will already have a lot of students to supervise. So it is possible to change at least once, but think about it carefully. Okay, but this is possible. For example, you feel that this subject is not really interesting to you, or your skills probably not well fits this subject and you would like to change it. But be aware that the time is running fast and you will still need to make a huge job.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, how many pages should be in the thesis? Okay, The thesis is, I think, well, I don't remember exactly, but I think it's around 65 pages. I will need to check with the new standard, but as far as I remember, it was 65 pages before. Without the formal documents, without the individual task, without the review, without everything, just the text. Well, it's not obligatory to publish the paper or before defense, but normally a lot of our students, especially those who works with our scientific teams, they had at least one publication at the end of the study. We had one student who has written 12 publications by the end of the second year. Yeah, we also have several conferences here in St. Petersburg, I mean in INFO University, where you can participate, and I'm sure that you will participate, and you will have an opportunity to publish something in the thesis book of these conferences. Yeah. So it will be, the commission, the examination, I mean the exam commission, they like when part of your thesis is published somewhere that's already have a guarantee of some scientific value of your work. And as I said about the scientific value, I know that some of you are going to do the scientific work in organizations or enterprises. So here you need to be very careful and be sure that this is scientific task, not just engineering task. For example, if you're doing like design of the website, it's engineering task for sure. But if you do some research and develop some methodology, that's scientific task. Normally, students who doing it in research and development departments of the organization where they're working in, that's okay. Normally, they give scientific tasks to the students. Other questions? So if you have like some formal questions regarding the procedure or doing scientific work, you can write directly to me. My name is Alexandra Klimova, so you can find easily my email in ISU. Yeah, I will not answer you on scientific questions. It's your supervisor who is, who will do it. But with other questions, please feel free to contact me. Okay, if you don't have any questions, so I would like to thank you for joining us in this event and wish you good luck with your scientific work. Okay? Bye.
Thank you.